All right, last time on Rules of the Road, we talked about how speed limits are determined for local streets and highways. Today, we're talking about how those speeds are enforced. So joining us in studio, as always, Sergeant Brian Pennings from the CHP. Always appreciate you being here to help us understand what's going on the roads. Let's talk about why it's so important first to have the speed limits established the way that we do on the roadways.
Well, remember, Andrew, if you have a two-lane undivided roadway, the speed limit's 55 and on multi-lane is 65 unless you have an engineering survey that establishes a reasonable, safe, and prudent speed limit that's lower than that. So it's important to have those studies so that we can establish the appropriate speed limit.
So right now, what is the most common way speed limits are enforced?
Actually, pacing. So any officer, police officer, CHP officer, sheriff deputy, they can issue a speeding citation based on pacing.
So they just get behind you and they go your pace.
Or
and
they match their vehicle speed close or near your speed or the violator speed, and then they can issue a speeding citation based on their pace.
Generally, when you do that, do people just not see you? Is that kind of the idea?
Well, it's not uncommon that they have other things in their hands or other distractions, and it's amazing how you can be right next to them and they not even know you're there.
Let's talk about radar, LiDAR, how these things work, how the technology has changed.
Okay, so there's two types. We have radar, which basically sends out the Doppler tone and bounces off the vehicles that are approaching you and gives you the readout.
How many vehicles can it hit?
Well, what it does is it will go out and get a whole group of vehicles and then capture the one single fastest vehicle as well. So it sends it out, and if I visually estimate a vehicle speed and I send out the Doppler tone, it doesn't matter if they're in a group of cars or not, the fastest vehicle, let's say is the speed limit is 40, I estimate it at 57 miles per hour, I'll send out the Doppler tone and it will capture it, say 56 or 55 miles per hour, and it'll show up as the fastest speed, and then I'll issue a citation as based on the radar confirmation of my visual estimation.
Okay, and what's LiDAR? And why would you use radar if you have LiDAR?
Well, radar can be used both moving and stationary.
Okay.
In front of me, behind me, same direction, opposite direction. Basically, if I see you and I want your speed, I have you.
So it can figure out, oh, this vehicle I'm in is moving 60, that vehicle is moving 10 miles an hour more than I am.
In front of me, behind me, same direction, opposite direction, moving, stationary, it doesn't matter.
Do you have to do the math? So if you're going 60 and they're coming 70, does it say 130?
No, okay. No, the computer does it for you.
Okay.
Now LiDAR, the benefit of LiDAR and laser is that it pinpoints the exact vehicle that you are targeting. However, the downside as far as enforcement is it can only be used in stationary mode. There's no moving mode at this point for LiDAR. So
if you're pulling over and you're saying, okay, I'm in a good spot here to find some speeders, if this is an area where we have a problem, first of all, what makes you choose that area?
Well, a lot of times traffic complaints. Okay. People will say, well, at this particular location, we have a lot of violations, or we may have a high-profile crash, or we may have a problem with vehicle collisions, more than average vehicle collisions, and it's a problem area. So a way that we address those problems is through enforcement.
Is there truth to the quota that people hear about,
no,
especially toward the end of a month, for example?
What we do for our officers is our officers go out and they have to show that they're busy. Okay. And it is not hard getting citations. Yeah. You can find them anywhere and everywhere. The vast majority of our contacts, our enforcement contacts, actually end in a verbal warning, believe it or not. But a useful tool. Sometimes a verbal warning goes further than the citation, but the officer makes up their mind whether or not you're going to get that verbal warning, usually before they even get out of the car.
What percentage of people fight their ticket? What percentage of people win that fight?
I don't have the exact percentages. I'll tell you based on my personal experience. Very few actually fight. Okay. The vast majority just go ahead and pay their fine and go to traffic school or what have you. Typically, the most of the time that a violator will win a citation is when the officer doesn't show up. Sometimes the officer will show up and their documentation isn't in order and they'll request it to be dismissed, and sometimes the officers say, you know what, I have no independent recollection of this incident.
It's been months.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I can't testify to it. I wish this dismissed.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about detecting. I know it's been a game of cat and mouse for many, many years. You used to have radar detectors people would have in the car. Is that legal to have a radar detector, one? And two, with apps like Waze, for example, how does that factor into identifying where an officer might be?
Well, with technology of apps and whatnot, they give you real life time situations as far as where we're at. They're very effective in letting you know, and we have no issues with that because in-view patrol is a great strategy to slow people down and save lives. That's ultimately what we care about. Right. As far as radar detectors are concerned, in California they are legal to possess. You cannot have a radar jammer. So let's talk about the difference. Radar detectors go out and they sense the Doppler tone, and if they sense the Doppler tone, it lights up and tells you, which band, which direction, and some of the fancy ones tell you where it's coming from. However, radar travels at near the speed of light. So usually what happens is I see you when I want you, and I shoot the radar, and I capture your speed. I'll see you slow down after I've already got your speed. Yeah. So it's going to tell you you're going to get stopped. Now jammers are obvious when somebody has one. In my career, I've only seen it once, Andrew. The car was doing a couple 100 miles per hour. So basically,
was this a NASCAR race?
No. What the jammer does is it disrupts the feedback of the Doppler. So it's a grossly off. And then it went down to like 12 miles per hour, and then stopped on the shoulder. I was shooting it, and it was 121 miles per hour. Stopped on the shoulder. So it's obvious when somebody has a jamming device.
Does it ruin it? Or just
no.
temporarily?
It disrupts the feedback from the Doppler effect coming back to the unit that's sending it out.
Somebody's doing that speed though. You might be able to have a visual cue that something's not right.
So the jamming devices are illegal. Okay. Like I said, I've only seen it once in my career. But the radar detectors themselves, typically it's going to tell you that you're going to get stopped.
Okay. And last thing, real quick before we go, with Waze, for example, you have to put in, officer here. I mean, that's distracted driving, isn't it? It is.
That's a violation.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a violation. I'll have Waze on my phone, and I'll pull over to the side of the road or on a ramp or in an area and see how long it takes them. And usually it's just a matter of seconds before it pops up on my phone.
You said your record was like 10 seconds or 12 seconds, something like that. All right, we always appreciate Officer Pennings, the insight, good information, and great for everybody out there to stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.